Welcome to Voice Bootcamp. In this particular task, I'm going to show you how to create a roaming device profile that allows an IP phone to inherit the localized settings of a particular site. When a head office employee, for example, takes their device phone and goes to a branch office, let's say San Francisco, in a different time zone, and logs into call manager, well, the call manager really does not know the user is local or coming from a different location. So because the user settings has been predefined to be part of the head office, regardless of the physical location of the user, the user will constantly get the same settings, including a time zone from the head office, as well as the codec issue. So our goal is when an employee from one location goes to different known location, not in any unknown location, I'm talking about known, such as branch office, that when they log in from the branch office, their phone, whether it be a physical phone or a soft phone, they must inherit the certain settings related to that particular site, such as what codec they're going to use, because now that they're physically in the branch office, they're going to use a WAN to communicate with the head office. A. B. They're in a different time zone, so their phone should reflect the time zone of that particular location, not that head office that is usually configured. So in order to configure this, the user must be also aware that they are roaming, just for notification purposes. So in order to achieve this, you must know the IP the subnet of the branch office. To complete this lab, you need a call manager, IP phone, and router and switches. What we're going to do here is on the system menu, we're going to use device mobility, and then we're going to create two groups, one for each location. Device mobility group, sorry, HQ. And I'll create another one for branch office, so site B. Second, I'm going to create device mobility information. So what does device mobility information is? It is a information related to a particular site. So the first one I'm going to create is called HQ device info, mobility info, and in the HQ we're going to say that the HQ belongs to this particular subnet. Okay, so now anybody who logs into this subnet, oh sorry, 24 bits, anybody who logs in to connect to this particular IP network, they should get HQ device pool. So anybody is coming from this registered to this subnet. So let's assume somebody from China comes into head office in Toronto, and the head office subnet is 135.1.66.0. The user from China plugs the phone into the Ethernet jack, and they obtain an IP address from this particular subnet. So obviously that particular phone should receive a temporary device pool, and that temporary device pool is going to be the HQ device pool. Now I'm going to create a second one for branch office, and I'm going to put this IP address of the branch office, and I'm going to say whenever this user logs in, they should get branch office device pool. Now before I do anything else, I'm going to make a phone call from this IP phone communicator, which is currently using that subnet 172. So I'm going to make a call to head office, and as you can see from the info, oops, I have not changed certain settings. So as you can see, the codec is G711. Alright, so I have just want to make a test call to make sure that it was configured properly. So now what I'm going to do is disconnect this phone so that we can simulate the situation. Going back to device mobility, as I've told you that we have two different device mobility information configured, one for each location. Their subnets are defined. I will also create a physical location. Physical location is used to identify whether you're roaming or you're local. So we'll just call this HQ, and we're going to call this site B. Simple. Alright, now going to the device pool of the HQ device first, and right here where it says physical location, this is HQ of course, and the device mobility group we're going to use is HQDMG. There we go. Reset this. Now I will go to the site B device pool and apply the similar settings. Physical location site B, mobility would be site B DMG. Alright, as my phones are resetting right now. Okay, so I have my phones are back. I'm going to simulate as if I am registering from a different location. So I'm going to open my IP communicator. If everything is configured properly, my IP communicator should say roaming. Okay, so it has not taken any effect yet. So let's troubleshoot this. So the subnet my IP communicator is coming from is 172.16.1.204. I will double check my configuration. Forgot to enable the device mobility on the service parameter, so you must go to service parameter. Select the server and search for mobility. Right where it says device mobility mode, you must turn this feature on. Okay, I must do the same thing on the other server. Close the IP communicator as well. Okay, got activated on both, seems like it. Okay. So let's try without restarting the call manager to see if it works. If not, then I will restart the call manager service. There you go. As you can see, once the phone registers, it says device in roaming location. So because it is coming from different site, it will give you a message once in a while. The device is in roaming right now. If I were to make a call, and as you can see, it's using G729. Okay, so that's basically how you configure device mobility and allow the users to roam around with their phone to different location and inherit settings that are related to that particular location. But the key part here is to make sure that you know the IP subnet of the user, the location where the user is coming from.